How is it going, everybody? This is Darrin with GuitarControl.com bringing you this video lesson, and today I want to show you two pentatonic sequences, one that is ascending and one that is descending, and then I'm going to show you some examples of how you can take just a snippet of each one and put them together and make some really cool sounding licks that are pretty easy to play. So right now Guitar Control is giving away this really awesome daily practice routine to improve your lead guitar chops. This was put together by our very own Silvio Gazquez, a two-time Guitar Idol finalist. This routine covers the four main concepts that are necessary for lead guitar: alternate picking, legato, sweep picking, and tapping. All the tabs and exercises are all included in this free ebook. There's a link in the description where you can get yours. So be sure to click on the link in the description for the tabs, and let's get close up and take a look at these. Alright, so the first one we're going to look at is the ascending portion, and I've got this divided up into each section is a group of 6 notes, so I've divided it up that way to make it easier to kind of memorize it. So we're doing this in E minor, but it's just with the first pentatonic box pattern, so you can play this in any key, you can just move it around. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off, you're going to put your first finger here on the 12th fret of the low E string, and then we're going to pick up the 15th fret, and sometimes I'll do it with my pinky, sometimes I'll do it with my 3rd finger. Once I get to the 12th fret, I don't use my pinky as much, sometimes just because of space. But anyway, we're going to start off, we're going to pick 15 and pull to 12, and then hammer back to 15. And then we're going to go to the 12th fret on the A string, and back to the 15th fret on the E, and back to the 12th fret on the A. So that's the 6 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now we're just going to repeat the same sequence across all the rest of the strings. So our next pair is going to be the A and the D string. So now, just like the pentatonic scale, we're moving to the 14th fret. So we're going to be on the 12th fret with our first finger and the 14th fret with our 3rd finger. And we're going to pick 14, pull to 12, hammer to 14. And then to the 12th fret of the D string, back to the 14th fret of the A string, back to the 12th fret of the D string. So far we've got... Now we're just going to keep moving the sequence up, so now we'll start on the D string, then start on the G string, now on the B string. Remember, now we have to go back up to the 15th fret. So you can play the whole thing like an exercise. Okay, so that is our ascending portion. Now, obviously you could already use that as a lick, but not necessarily the entire sequence. Maybe you'll just, use a part of it. Something like that. Okay, so now let's look at a descending. It's like kind of the counterpart to this. So again, we're in E minor, we're still using that same pentatonic pattern, and we are, this is a group of 6 notes again. So now we're going to start at the top of the scale. So our first finger's on the 12th fret, on the 15th fret of the high E string, and again, sometimes I'll use my pinky, sometimes I'll use my 3rd finger. And we're going to pick 15 and pull to 12, to the 15th fret of the B string, back to the 12th fret of the high E, and then pull 15 to 12 on the B string. Okay, so now the sequence is just going to continue, do on the B string. Now when we go to the G string, remember we have to go from the 15th fret down to the 14th fret now. The G to the D string, the D to the A string, and then the A to the low E. Again, you could just use, part of that too. Whatever. So now what I do is I want to show you how, by taking part of the ascending portion and part of the descending portion and connect them together, you can come up with this, some really cool sequences. All right, so for this first combination, we're going to do it on the D and the G string. And this is just kind of a nice neutral spot to kind of practice to get the pattern down. So I'm got my first finger on the 14th fret of the D string and my first finger on the 12th fret of the D string and my third finger on the 14th fret of the D string. And I'm going to pick and pull and then do a hammer on back on to the 12th fret of the G string, back to the 14th fret of the D string, and back to the 12th fret of the G string. So this is just like the ascending part that we did earlier. Okay, so that's the first measure. Now for the second half, we're going to do, the second measure is going to be the descending part. So we ended off here on the 12th fret of the G string with our first finger. So now we're going to put our third finger onto the 14th fret on the G string. We're going to pick and pull off to 12. Follow that with the 14th fret of the D string, back to the 12th fret of the G string, and then the 14 pull to 12 on the D string. And then the whole thing would just repeat. So it's a pretty cool lick, and it's fairly easy to build up some speed on. Now you could pick every note if you wanted. You could change, not do all the hammer-ons or pull-offs or whatever. You kind of make it your own. This is just the way that I personally like it. All right, so the second one combination we're going to look at is it's basically going to be the exact same thing, but we're going to do it between the G and the B string. So this is going to be just a little bit more difficult. It's still the same idea. So we're starting pulling 14 to 12 on the G string and hammering back to 14. To the 12th fret of the B string, back to the 14th fret of the G string, back to the 12th fret of the B string. And then the second half, we're going to have to go 15 on the B string, pull to 12, to the 14th fret of the G string, back to the 12th fret of the B string, and then 14 pull on the G string. So that one's quite a bit harder because you're having to make that transition, and you see there I kept changing which fingers I'm using because I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I would want to play that part. Okay, and then the last one, and this is the one that I really think sounds cool. I hope that I can play it well enough here to give you a good example. But we're going to start on the high E string. So we're gonna pull 15 to 12 to the 15th fret of the B string, to the 12th fret of the high E string, and then 15, 12 on the B string. So this is the descending lick. So that last 15 to 12, you could pull that too, or pick it. Okay, so then the second measure, we left off here, so on the 12th fret of on the B string. So now we're going to go back to 15. We're going to pull to 12, hammer back to 15, to the 12th fret of the high E, back to 15 on the B string, and then back to 12 on the high E, and then it would just, the whole thing would repeat. Alright, so like I said, I think that one really sounds cool, and it's a really cool lick. I need a lot more practice with it to really be able to play it quick, but it isn't really that hard to get the sequence down. So if you were going to try to do that across all the strings, just like like a long continuous run or something, you wouldn't be able to do what I'm about to show you here. But with this, what makes this kind of easy is if you just bar your first finger on the 12th fret of the B and the high E string. Then all you have to do is really move your third finger. But as you move down, you have, to try to do that, which I really don't recommend. All right, so there you have it, a cool ascending and a cool descending pentatonic sequences, and then combining them together to make different licks. So obviously those aren't all of the ways that you could do that, so just mess around with it, come up with your own ideas, really try to make it your own. So if you like this lesson, be sure to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment down below if you have any questions about this or other guitar-related topics. If you've not already done so, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the content that we upload throughout the week. Well, that is all I have for you today. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.